Hey, how we doing everybody? Matt here with OddsJam, and in this video I am giving you 2 last-minute player props to hammer before Thursday Night Football tonight. So I got 2 for you guys. Both of them are going to be about 1 unit plays. One will be for a unit, one of them will be for just under a unit. Both of them I like a lot. Both of them I found using OddsJam, using the positive expected value page. The other one I found using the OddsJam screen. This one is also my absolute favorite one. I think this one's a great play. So we'll start with that because I don't want the odds to change on me. What we're looking at here is Shi Smith under 10.5 receiving yards. So let's look at where every sportsbook prices this market at: 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6.5, 10.5. That seems weird. 5.5, 6.5, 6.5. Literally every other book prices this at either 5 or 6.5, and we're getting it at 10.5. Granted, we are paying for it at minus 135 odds. I still think this is an incredible play. I would love to put a full unit on it. We will see if PointsBet lets me, but for those of you at home that are using this play, it is worth a full, oh, they did accept that. Awesome. It is worth a full unit on this Shi Smith under receiving yards. So using the OddsJam screen, it's pretty cool. As you can tell, it tells you when odds change. So we can see that the Tommy Tremble became more favorable. Damiere Byrd became less favorable. What hasn't changed is Shi Smith. And this is an insane difference between these sports books. Getting it from 5.5 all the way up to 10.5 is just ridiculous when you compare it. It's literally a 40% difference if you're looking at just yards themselves. That 4-yard difference is literally a 30 to 40% to 50% difference depending on what book you're looking at. In some books, like every single book, most of them, not every single one, has it at like an even money, whether it goes over or under. BetMG or FanDuel has it pretty much even money, minus 110 each way. The BetMGM one appears and disappears. I'm guessing the odds are changing, but they favor the under at 6.5. FoxBet has it at 5.5, has it at basically a 50-50 split, as does Betway. They have it at 6.5, and they have it actually they favor the under at 6.5, which is just insane. It's a remarkable play here. So the BetMGM one, the odds ended up changing. Now they have it at the over at minus 120, but that's still 5 yards lower than what PointsBet is giving us at 10.5. It's just insane the difference that you're getting between these sports books. And this is why using the screen is such a valuable tool, because you can take advantage of sportsbooks that have mispriced odds. Like here's another one that's a pretty insane mispriced odds. Olamide Zaccheaus, I believe is that person's name. Zaccheaus, I know is the last name. PointsBet has his over-under priced at 22.5. Every other book has it at 20.5. 22, or excuse me, sorry. PointsBet has it at 25.5. 25. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Every other book, we see 20.5, 22, 23. No book has it higher than 23. We also see Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, prices it at 22.5. DraftKings does a pretty good job with player props, prices it at 23.5 and favors the under. This is a ridiculously stale line that PointsBet has. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add this one. I was only going to have 2 plays. I'm going to go ahead and add this one because I think this is such an awesome play. Zaccheaus under 25.5 receiving yards. Another play that I'm putting a full unit on. So this is the second play that I found using the screen. And hopefully this makes sense, right? I know I was kind of jumbling all over the place as the odds were changing. But what we're doing here is we're looking at every single sports book and what they price props at. And we're taking advantage of the sports books that have mispriced odds. This 25.5 is a clear misprice by PointsBet. This 10.5 is a clear price misprice by PointsBet. If you take advantage of these poorly priced lines more often or often enough, and you will be profitable more often than not, which is exactly what we're trying to do here. So those are the first 2 plays that I found using the screen. The next play I found using OddsJam, using the positive expected value page. And what we're looking at here is Terrence Marshall over 2.5 player receptions. Again, don't love the odds at minus 136, but this is such a good price that I ended up taking it. So I'm going to go ahead and putting just under a unit, so $90 on this one. For those of you that don't feel like doing the math of 0.9 units, you can go ahead and round this one up to a full unit. But I love this play. It's minus 136 at FanDuel. And the OddsJam line, the Novig odds, prices this at about minus 139. So the screen, you're taking advantage of pricing discrepancies, like sportsbooks that have yards priced incorrectly. Positive EV is similar, but instead of looking at the difference in what sportsbooks price lines in terms of like 25.5 versus 22.5, we're taking advantage of sportsbooks that have odds that are mispriced. So this minus 136 on FanDuel, look across the board at where every other sportsbook prices it. Another outlier here. The closest sportsbook is Tipico at minus 150. That's still 14 cents higher than the FanDuel line at minus 136. And look at every other book. Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, has it all the way up at minus 169. DraftKings, which does a great job with player props, prices this at minus 165. All of the other books have it in the minus 160s, except for BetRivers, which is basically minus 160 at minus 159. So this minus 136 on FanDuel is a clear outlier when compared to the rest of the sports books. So using the screen, using the positive EV page, all we're doing is taking advantage of mispriced odds. In positive EV's case, we're comparing the bet to the sharpest sportsbooks in the world, which is where these Novig odds are calculated from, and we're finding discrepancies there. Using the screen, we're taking advantage of books that have totals and spreads and player props mispriced, and we're taking advantage of them as well. This 10.5 is a remarkably insane and clear outlier when compared to the rest of the sports books. So those are my 3 last minute bets to lock in for Thursday night football tonight. Obviously, we're looking at Falcons Panthers, but that's it. So if you guys are tailing these, comment on the video, let me know. Would love to hear it. But that's all I got for you guys. So I appreciate you all watching, and have a good one.